Hi, future RNs. Curious about how this occurs? The agent-host environment model is one way to explain it. The agent-host environment model, which is also known as the epidemiologic triad, proposes that disease is caused by the interaction among three factors. Ano itong mga factors na to? The agent, which is the cause of the disease, the host, which is the organism that can get sick of the disease, usually ito ay humans or animals, but in this video, we'll be focusing on humans. And the environment, which refers to the external conditions that influence the spread of the agent to the host. First, let's see the agent. This is the cause of the disease. Epidemiologic triad, or the agent-host environment model, was first formulated to explain the causation of infectious diseases. So let's start with biological agents. These refer to bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungi, and other microorganisms. The epidemiologic triad has since expanded to include non-infectious diseases. Kaya aside from biological agents, meron ding other agents such as physical agents, example of which is extreme temperatures. For instance, exposure to heat may lead to burns and heat stress. Ano itong heat stress na to? Examples of this would be heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Extreme cold, on the other hand, may lead to frostbite. Nasisira na yung mga tissues kasi wala nang circulation Nasisira dahil sa lamig. Yung hypothermia naman, sobrang bumababa yung body temperature and in fact, pwedeng mamatay yung tao dahil dito sa hypothermia. Electricity is another physical agent and the main risks are electric shock and burns. On the other hand, electric shock can also lead to other types of injury. For example, yung isang tao na nag-aayos dun sa poste o nasa scaffolding siya tapos na kuryente siya, pwede siyang mahulog at dahil dito sa pagkahulog niya ay pwede siyang ma-injure. Physical agents may also take the form of radiation. Pwedeng ionizing radiation yan, which includes X-rays and radiation from radioactive material. Anong radioactive material ito? For example, pag nagkaroon ng nuclear plant accident, pwedeng ma-release yung mga radioactive material doon sa nuclear plant na yon. Pwede rin ang non-ionizing radiation, which includes UV and infrared light. Anong epekto ng radiation sa ating katawan? Sinisira niyan yung mga cells. Kaya pwede magkaroon ng disease, ng disability, and even death because of radiation. Physical agents can also take the form of noise, which can damage hearing, and hearing loss may be temporary or permanent. For example, merong malakas na explosion, minsan, pagkatapos ng explosion, wala ka nang marinig. Pero after a while, makakarinig ka uli. Pero kung paulit-ulit yan o sobra namang lakas talaga, ay pwedeng maging permanent na ang hearing loss. There could also be chemical agents. These are hazardous substances such as pollutants, dust, vapors, and fumes. This may be inhaled, ingested, or contacted through the skin or mucous membrane. So for example, cigarette smoke is a type of chemical agent. Maraming substances na nandoon sa cigarette smoke na pag na-inhale mo ay pwedeng makadamage sa iyong katawan. Kaya nga, ang isang tao na nagsisigarilyo ay high ang risk niya na mag-develop ng lung cancer. Agents can also be mechanical. Examples are pressure and blows that can damage tissues. For example, sinuntok ka, so pwede ka magkaroon ng blunt injury na tinatawag. Nadadamage yung mga tissues mo, wala namang cut sa iyong skin. Or nadaganan ka ng elepante, o di syempre, madadamage yung mga tissues mo dahil do sa pressure. The host, on the other hand, is the organism that is exposed to the agent and can get sick of the disease. So, pwede ito ay human or animal. Pero dito, magpo-focus lang tayo sa human. There are several factors in the host that can affect his or her susceptibility to the agent. One such factor is age. For example, pneumonia is more common among older adults than younger adults. Yung isa ay 80 years old. Yung isa naman ay 30 years old. Pareho sila na-expose sa microorganism na nagkakos ng pneumonia. So, pareho na-expose sa agent. Pero, most likely, yung 80 years old ay magkakasakit, yung 30 years old ay hindi magkakasakit. At pag nagkasakit yung 80 years old ng pneumonia, ang tendency, mas grabe yung pneumonia niya. kesa dun sa pneumonia ng isang younger person. Kaya nga maraming mga matatanda pag nag-pneumonia ay natutuluyan na. Minsan namamatay na dahil critical na illness na para sa kanila. Another host factor is gender. For example, croup or laryngotracheobronchitis, which is an infection involving the larynx, the trachea, and the bronchi. Ito ay common infection among children, pero mas common ito sa boys kesa sa girls. For some reason, boys seem to be more susceptible to croup than girls. A host factor can also be occupation. For example, construction workers may be prone to respiratory problems due to exposure to crystalline silica in concrete dust. So, ang agent dito ay yung crystalline silica, yung chemical na nandoon sa dust ng concrete, sa semento. Pero yung occupation ng tao, na-expose siya dun sa crystalline silica kasi nga, hinahandle niya ang mga semento eh. Kaya, mas malaki ang tendency na na-expose siya kesa sa isang tao na ang occupation ay hindi construction worker. Host factor also, specific immunity, which refers to resistance against specific diseases because of the presence of antibodies that protect the host specifically against these diseases. So, immunity against specific diseases. For example, immunity against measles. Paano nagkaroon yung bata ng immunity against measles? Kasi siya ay nabakunahan. Pwede rin naman na yung isang tao ay nagkaroon ng immunity against measles kasi nagka-measles siya. Pag ikaw ay nagka-measles, na-expose ka na dun sa virus. Pag ikaw ay pinakunahan, na-expose ka rin dun sa virus, pareho ang nagiging response ng katawan. Nagde-develop ng antibodies yan, kaya pag pumasok na ang massive dose ng measles virus sa katawan mo, hindi ka na tinatablan kasi meron ka ng protection eh. Host factor could also be general state of health. This is one's state of health including the presence or absence of comorbidities that can affect one's immune response. So kung yung specific immunity ay para lang sa specific na disease such as measles immunity ay para sa measles lang, ito naman ay in general. Di ba may mga tao na parang ang lakas-lakas ng resistensya nila, hindi sila tinatablan kaagad ng sakit. Lahat ay inuubo na, pero siya parang baliwala lang, hindi siya inuubo kasi mataas ang kanyang resistance. Kasama na dito yung presence or absence of comorbidities that can affect one's immune response. For example, yung isang tao na HIV positive o meron siyang AIDS. Ano ba ang meaning ng AIDS? Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. So, doon sa pangalan na lang, malalaman na natin na kulang ang kanyang immune response. Kaya yung ordinary na infection or ordinary na microorganism na usually hindi nagkakos ng infection o kung mag-cause man ng infection ay mild lang, pag tinamaan yung tao na merong AIDS, pumasok yung microorganism na to sa kanyang katawan, ang tendency, nagkakasakit siya at mas malubha yung kanyang sakit. Kaya ordinary na infection ay pwede nang makapatay dito sa taong to kasi mababa ang kanyang immune response. Lifestyle can also be another host factor. Pwedeng positive yan, pwede ring negative. It may protect against disease. For example, good ang nutrition mo. O very physically fit ka, nag-exercise ka. O tama ang iyong mga hygienic practices, nag-hand washing ka, naliligo ka. Or, on the other hand, it may also expose them to disease, such as risky sexual behavior. Nakikipag-sex ka kung kani-kanino, multiple sexual partners, unprotected na sex. So, dahil dito, ino-open mo yung sarili mo to the possibility na may mga microorganisms na galing doon sa sexual partners mo na pupunta sa iyo at magkakaroon ka ng sexually transmitted na disease. Genetics is another host factor. Pero yung influence kasi ng genetics hindi pa well explained eh. Although meron ng mga na-identify na genes na pwedeng makaprotect or pwedeng maka-increase ng susceptibility, pero in general, hindi pa well understood yung influence ng genetics on the susceptibility to infection. Pero may mga studies that show that individuals who have been adopted in childhood, so ibig sabihin, hindi sila lumaki kasama ang kanilang biological parents, diba? Kasi pina-adapt nga sila, had a markedly increased risk of death from infection if a biological parent had died prematurely of infection. So, hindi sila lumaki kasama ang kanilang biological parent, pero pag yung biological parent nila ay namatay na maaga dahil sa infection, sila mismo ay meron ding increased risk na mamamatay sila from infection. So, it seems na kahit magkaiba yung kanilang environment na kinalakihan, ay merong factor na hereditary na nagde-determine ng kanilang susceptibility to infection. What about environment? These are the external conditions that bring the agent and the host together. Kaya dahil dito, pwede na ngayon na magkaroon ng sakit yung host dahil napupunta na yung agent sa kanya. Weather or season of the year is an example of environmental factor. For instance, leptospirosis is more common during the rainy season. Bakit? Kasi pag bumaha at nag-wade yung tao doon sa flood, pwede siya ma-expose sa bacteria na nagkakos ng leptospirosis. Saan ba original na galing yung bacteria na yan? Galing yan sa urine ng infected rats. So, dahil bumaha, yung urine ay sumasama dun sa tubig at pag naglakad ka doon at merong break sa iyong skin, pwedeng pumasok ngayon yung microorganism na nagkakos ng leptospirosis sa katawan mo at magkakasakit ka. Another environmental factor is sanitation. Many pathogens thrive in a dirty environment. Water can get contaminated. So pag ininom mo yung water, then pwede ka mag-diarrhea. Yung food ay pwede rin makontaminate. For example, yung farmer, ang ginagamit niya na pangdilig dun sa kanyang tinanim na lechugas ay yung water na nagko-contain ng fecal matter. So, contaminated by the sewage system. So, ikaw naman, sarap na kumakain ng iyong vegetable salad, wala kang kamalay-malay na kinakain mo na pala yung E. coli na nandoon sa iyong lechugas. Kaya, pwede ka magkaroon ng disease. Peace and order situation is another environmental factor. For instance, people in areas with high crime rates are more prone to injuries from mauling, stabbing, or gunshot. So, yung agent ay yung mga mechanical na agents, mauling, stabbing, gunshot, mechanical, lahat yan. Pero, high risk ka na ma-expose dito sa agents na to kasi nakatira ka sa isang environment na mataas ang crime rate. Another environmental factor is population density. Gaano ka-crowded yung population. Pwedeng itong population density is yung temporary lang, such as in a concert. Pwede rin naman yung in general, yung day-to-day na population density, gaano ba ka-crowded yung iyong environment. Such as, dikit-dikit ba yung mga bahay? Masyado bang maraming tao? So kung merong infection, mas madaling mag-spread yan pag dense ang population, di ba? Kesa pag ikaw ay nasa isang rural area, for example, na ang nearest na neighbor mo ay 1 kilometer away, kung magkaroon man ng infection yung neighbor mo, most likely, hindi maililipat sa'yo kasi masyadong malayo ang distance between you and your neighbor. Infrastructure can also be a part of the environmental factor. I'm using this term in general to refer to the presence or absence of facilities, equipment, supplies, at isama na rin natin dito yung programs that may deter or promote disease. For example, kung walang health education programs sa area kung saan ka nakatira, then most likely, hindi ka makakatanggap talaga ng health education, magiging ignorant ka tungkol sa prevention of disease, kaya most likely, mapropromote ang disease dun sa area na yon. Another environmental factor is social factors, which include social norms, which means ano ba ang considered na normal or acceptable do sa kultura or society. And it also includes the presence or absence of social support. For instance, in some areas, the LGBTQIA+ community is stigmatized. Hindi accepted, mababa ang tingin. Kaya ano ang reaction ng mga gays? Natatakot sila to come out into the open. They still hide in their closet. So, nagpapaka lalaki kunwari kahit gay. Nagpre-pretend na lalaking lalaki siya. Dahil dito, hindi niya na-access ngayon yung mga programs na pwedeng ino-offer para sa mga gays. Kasi nga, nagpre-pretend siya. Or dahil stigmatized itong LGBTQIA+ community, hindi sila priority when it comes to programs. Baka walang mga programs na ino-offer para sa kanila para ma-promote ang kanilang health. At dahil dyan, merong absent na social support, di ba? Kaya high risk sila na magkaroon ng sakit. So, i-apply natin to. For instance, yung disease ay HIV/AIDS. So, ang AIDS na nga ay acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Tingnan natin yung agent, host, environment factors. So, tingnan muna natin ang agent. The agent is the human immunodeficiency virus. So, yan ang nagkakos ng HIV/AIDS. Pag ikaw ay nagkaroon ng ganyan, then magte-test ka na positive. So, HIV positive ka. Pero, pwedeng wala ka pang AIDS. Pero, pag naging full-blown na talagang nagkaroon ka na ng disease, ikaw ay meron ng acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So, yan ang causative agent. O, tingnan naman natin ang mga host factors. What are the factors that can increase the chances na you will come in contact with the HIV or with the virus? First would be sexual behaviors. Men who have sex with men, higher ang risk na mag-HIV positive ka kasi yung practices na ginagawa pag sexual relations between two men ay mas malaki ang chances na nakakapasok sa katawan ng tao yung virus. Tapos, mga sex workers. Kasi, multiple ang iyong sexual partner. So, malaki ang chance na baka isa sa kanila ay HIV positive, di ba? Wala ka namang gauge na HIV positive. There's no specific look that will tell you that one is HIV positive. Mukhang ang linis-linis niya, pero pwedeng HIV positive siya. And persons who have unprotected sex. Hindi ka gumagamit ng condom, kaya pag nakipag-sex ka at HIV positive yung ka-sex mo, then ang tendency, makukuha mo pa rin yung virus, papasok sa katawan mo. So, yan ang host factors. Pero, meron pang ibang host factors. People who inject drugs. Ikaw ay nag-i-inject ng heroin intravenously, tapos nakikishare ka ng needle sa isang tao na HIV positive pala. Pwede ka mahawa sa kanya kasi yung microorganism ay pwedeng madala sa iyong katawan through the needle. Yung environment factors naman. First is lack of access to sex education. Hindi mo alam kung paano i-prevent kasi hindi ka naman naturuan. Another is lack of access to condoms. Alam mo na pwede mong gamitin ang condom to protect yourself against HIV/AIDS pero wala kang access. Reason? Nahihiya ka na bumili ng condom. Natatakot ka na may makakita sa'yo na bumibili ka ng condom. Or wala kang pera na pambili ng condom. Kaya hindi ka makabili. So, kahit alam mo na protection yon, hindi mo nagagamit yung protection. Another environmental factor is absent or ineffective drug prevention program. Dito sa Pilipinas, hindi masyadong concern dito yung transmission ng HIV/AIDS through sharing of needles kasi hindi common na gumagamit ng heroin or other injectable medications for drug dependence. Pero sa ibang bansa na mas common na ginagamit yan, ay mataas ang chances na dahil hindi na pre-prevent ang drug addiction, ay pwedeng sila ay ma-expose sa HIV/AIDS kasi nag-share sila ng needles. Before we proceed, please click the subscribe button. Meron pa tayong another example, this time, a non-communicable or non-infectious disease. O, tingnan natin, smoking-related diseases such as lung cancer. What is the agent? These are chemicals in cigarette smoke. Pag ikaw nagsisigarilyo, may pumapasok sa katawan mo ng mga chemicals. Kasama na dyan yung mga tinatawag na carcinogens, which are substances that promote the development of cancer. Yung host ay pwedeng yung person who smoke. O, syempre, nag-i-smoke ka, so pumapasok sa katawan mo. Yung behavior mo makes you susceptible to the effects of the agent. Kasi nga, yung agent nakakapasok sa katawan mo dahil ini-inhale mo nga yung smoke eh. Pero hindi lang yan ang susceptible na host. Meron pang isang grupo ng tao. These are the persons who are exposed to secondary smoke. Hindi nga siya nagsisigarilyo, pero he stays around the person who smokes. Kaya yung smoke na galing doon sa sigarilyo mismo o yung smoke na galing doon sa ibinubuga ng tao na nagsisigarilyo ay nai-inhale niya. At nagko-contain pa rin ito ng mga chemicals na pwede mag-cause ng cancer. So, susceptible pa rin ito. Environment naman, kasama dyan yung social norms on smoking. For example, it's sa Pilipinas, hindi masyadong nag-frown upon ang society natin sa mga nagsisigarilyo eh. Lalo na pag lalaki. Diba? Parang, common naman yan eh. Tapos, lalaki yan eh. Siyempre, magsisigarilyo yan. Macho naman yan eh. Ayun. So, acceptable ang smoking in most instances. Tapos, there could be lack of anti-smoking laws or programs. Or, meron naman tayong anti-smoking laws and ordinances. Pero, the question is, how well are these implemented? Kasi kung hindi naman nai-implement ang mga laws or programs, sayang lang, nandoon lang, pero walang access yung mga tao do sa program, tapos hindi naman na-prevent yung pag-smoke in public places kasi hindi na i-implement nga itong mga anti-smoking laws and ordinances. So, yung tatlong factors na to will have an interplay, kaya pag kumpleto na yan, then it increases the chances na ang tao ay magkakaroon ng lung cancer because of smoking. Okay, challenge sa inyo. Gumawa kayo ng sarili ninyo na epidemiologic triad, this time on the common cold. So yan ang disease, ano ang agent, ano ang host, at ano ang environment. So you can do this on your own. You can search ano bang agent ng common cold, ano ba yung mga factors in the person that would increase the susceptibility to common cold, at ano yung mga factors in the environment that will increase the chances that the agent causing the common cold can be transmitted or can be spread from person to person. So, yan ay pwede nyong gawin sa sarili by yourself. Pwede nyo rin na gawin sa klase with the guidance of your instructor. So, that's it. Ito yung agent-host environment model.